Tenses. I think this is one of the common problems faced by most of the people. You should be in the present. It's with the reference to the present that you have the past and the most of the time, because there is a requirement. So when I deal with something that is regular, something that's a part of my pattern of work, or maybe tricky problem, and that's when many people get it wrong. So tenses. I think this is one of the common problems faced by most of the people. Whenever I take one-to-one training sessions, I come across learners saying, I know everything about tenses. From where do you know? From grammar books, or from the worksheets that I solve, or even from the speaking platforms. But how to use these tenses in the right manner, in the correct way, is still a problem. It's one of the common problems found among learners. Now today's video is going to be with the basics of the tenses, but before that, you may think that you know everything, and you may feel that you get all the worksheets correct with 10% right answers, but that will not equip you with these speaking skills. Speaking comes naturally and spontaneously, and how can you expect the self to always remember these grammar rules? You may have a good knowledge, you may have a sound knowledge with reference to the tenses, but it may not be feasible to use all the knowledge that you have while speaking, because speaking just happens. If somebody asks you, how are you? You need to say, I'm fine, I'm doing good, how are you? So that's all spontaneous. We cannot remember all the rules, whether it should be in simple present or that tense or this tense. So basically, today's video is going to deal with tenses. We know three tenses: the past, the present and the future. So when we read books, when we listen to great people, they always say you should be in the present. It's with the reference to the present that you have the past and the future. And what I would like to tell everybody who watches this video is, you would not have got enough, or I would say sufficient knowledge because of your schools, your background, or maybe you would have been put up in a village school. Whatever it is, the present is important. The way you treat the present is important. I did not learn English language just because of my teachers or just because of whatever I was blessed with during my childhood. You can watch my personal journey with the English language. It just happens with a lot of determination and consistency. And today I'm a trainer just because of my hard work. I can tell that with pride. And even today I'm learning. So when it comes to tenses, past, present, future, these three aspects are there. First, the first half of the video is going to deal with the basics of the tenses. The second half, what's the second half going to be? I'm going to give you some sentences. Most of the people get these sentences incorrect. If you correct these sentences that comes in your daily conversation, half of your problems get solved. In spite of having a lot of YouTube channels with so much content, in spite of having all the training sessions by different people across the country, across the world, I don't understand why people get confused between these tenses. So I'm not able to speak in English because I don't have an environment. That is not an excuse today. I'll tell you very bluntly. You don't have the environment, even I didn't have the environment. Nobody was there to tell me, Rini, come on, speak in English, I'm here to speak to you in English. Or even today, I get to hear a lot of people saying, I don't have the environment, but still I take an effort to speak in English whenever I get the opportunity. If you don't get the opportunity, make the opportunity all by yourself. So if you're visiting the channel the first time, you need to go through the other videos, have patience, take some effort, and ta-da! You will definitely begin speaking English. And still, if you need help, you can join my one-to-one sessions. So let's get started with the video. The first part is, I've written some points here, tenses. So when it comes to learning tenses, let's begin with a context. Okay, so now I'm speaking to you, you are listening to me through this video, through the YouTube video. So let's take the context of learning and maybe creating videos. So I can say, I create videos. Present tense. Present tense is nothing but simple present. I create videos because it deals with my daily habit or maybe regular routine. If I don't do it daily, I do it quite often. And also it's something that I enjoy doing most of the time because there is a requirement. So when I deal with something that is regular, something that's a part of my pattern of work or maybe my creativity, then I can use a simple present. So I create videos. So let's look at present continuous. I am speaking now. That is present continuous. You are listening to me. Present continuous. Okay, now let's take another thing. People generally get confused. When do we use past tense? When the action is over. I created a video yesterday. I published a video last week. Or I can simply say I published a video on mental health. I don't know when, maybe last week or maybe last month, I don't know, but still the action is over. I published a video. So here it's all about something that's over. I published a video. Right? So it's over, and that's why it's past tense. Now, when do we use past continuous? That is a tricky problem, and that's when many people get it wrong. So let's see when to do that. So let's take this situation. I was writing down my notes for the video today when my phone was charging. So past continuous is always used with reference to another action, and that action can be in any form. So when my phone was charging, I was writing my notes. You can also have something in the past tense. It's possible. Only thing is you use past continuous when it is with reference to another action. And that is what you have to remember. Now let's take future. Future tense is not a problem for many of the learners. I will publish a video, maybe on tenses. I will publish a video maybe on some more topics connected with the grammar. So that's something that I have for future. I will be publishing a video on more books. So that is about I will be doing it. I will be publishing. So I've dealt with present, past, future, and also the continuous tenses. Of course, you may have a confusion with present perfect and past perfect. What you have to do is have some patience, scroll down and try to find those videos where I have meticulously and also assiduously stressed on the perfect tenses. Because the main tenses are past, present and future, and everything comes from there. It's a ramification of the main tenses. Past continuous, present continuous, future continuous. And today I have seen a lot of trainers trying to barge in and tell the learners that, no, that is not correct. It is like this, it is like that. There is a way in which we can always correct learners, not only learners, even the colleagues. Some trainers, I should tell you, they act over smart and sometimes overconfident also, thinking that they have the technical knowledge of all the tenses. So I don't want my learners to end up that way. I want you to have sound knowledge with reference to all these things. And that is why I insist on such aspects. It's almost getting dark and I thought of giving you the remaining part of the video, and that is definitely with reference to the sentences that most of you are getting it wrong. Now before that, you may still have more confusions with reference to tenses. Still, if you feel that the context is not clear, I still need more examples, you can go through my videos, but otherwise join my one-to-one training sessions. See, everybody has got, most of the learners have got problems with tenses, but the methods used are customized. I will give some inputs through my videos. You can see that clearly, it's obvious, but it may not be sufficient for all the learners because some of them may have more questions and they may need more examples, or they may want some other inputs based on the confusions that they have. So I don't know what confusions you have, because some people say I get confused between this type of tense and the other type of tense. So how do I do it? What is the kind of difference, or what is it that I have to really focus on? So when some of the learners approach me saying that the confusion is with reference to this tense and that tense, for example, past continuous and present continuous, I create activities where I use both the tenses. So then I'll be able to explain the difference and also allow the learners to begin with the prior knowledge. Okay, instead of giving lecture, they will untangle the confusions that they have, come out of it, and also work with a context. So let's look at some of these sentences now. The first one, I hear a lot of the learners saying this: I am interested in music. I'll give you some time. Can you find out the problem here? I am interested in music. I've seen many learners even advanced learners making a mistake with this. I am interested in sports. I am interested in music. What's the problem here? Can you spot the error? I am interested in music. Yes, that's right. Okay. The next one is I go out and bought food. What is wrong here? Many people say that this is with reference to another context, maybe the past context, whatever it is. I go out and bought food. So if you're speaking about something that is already over, how do we exactly convey that? I went out and bought food. I went out maybe the other day or this morning. It depends on what exactly you want to convey. The next sentence, are you ready for that? I am comfort sitting here. So suppose I want to tell you, I'm comfort sitting here. I'm comfortable sitting here. I'm comfortable. So comfortable is giving more quality. It is describing the position where I'm sitting. I am comfortable sitting here. Yes, so it's not comfort. Oh, the other day my friend blocked me and I'm unable to send messages. So what is the right sentence here? He blocked me. The other day I tried sending messages. You are trying to convey that you tried something, but I think that person blocked you. The next one that's very common among learners is shall we went out? What is wrong here? Shall we went out? Shall we go out? Shall we go out? Are you coming? Shall we go out? Yes, that's another one. One more thing that you have to always keep in mind is I am doing job. Of course, that is not correct. Okay, I am doing job is wrong. I'm doing work. So suppose it is for the time being, it is I am doing some work. So please don't disturb me. I am doing some work. But I have a job. Okay, so work can be a verb or a noun. So I am doing some work. Okay, fine. But when you want to tell me that I'm working with a company or I have a job, yes, I have a job. And generally when you join some company or when you are a part of some institution or organization, you say that I have a job profile. That's very clear. So job, I have a job, but not I am doing job. That's wrong. I'm doing some work which can be temporary or it can be connected to the work that you have. So I have work today. I'm going to the office, so that is different. But I'm doing job. No, I'm doing something. I'm doing my work, but I have a job is correct. So there is another confusion that surrounds this. So some people tell you like that. It's not your job to do that. We don't say it's not your work. It's not your job. Your job is not to find out the problems of people and be a counselor everywhere. You must have heard many people saying that it's not your job. Come on, just focus on your work. So that's a different aspect. It's not your job. It's not a profile or it's not something that you are supposed to be connected with. It's generally, I'm doing job is wrong. I'm doing some work. I have a job. I hope you get the difference. We don't say I have afraid of English. That's wrong. Okay, I have fear. I experience fear when I try speaking in English. Many people experience fear when they see a large group, even when they speak in their native tongue. So I experience fear when I'm on stage. I experience fear when I talk to a large group of people or even more than two people. I fumble. So it's not I have afraid or I have scared. I experience fear. I have fear. Okay, I fear. That is also different. I've already done another video on this, so please check out. The next one is there are a lot of learners who tell me, ma'am, these are my problems. Please forgive me if I'm doing some mistake. I've heard some trainers also, unfortunately, making the same mistake. I'm doing some mistake, you're doing some mistake, it's not good. I'm not saying that trainers should be perfect. Of course, everybody is into the phase of learning. I think I make a lot of mistakes. So can you please, would you mind rectifying it for me? Okay, so I make mistakes, not doing mistakes. Okay, you cannot do mistakes. I made a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake. Okay, do a mistake? No, that's not right. One more, the last sentence is, after entering into the hall, I saw the bride and the bridegroom. Or after entering into the class, that's wrong. After entering the hall, after entering or on entering the class, I saw all my friends. I was so happy. So entering the class is also okay, but not entering into. Similarly, I go for shopping is wrong. I go shopping. I go for jogging is wrong. I go jogging. And so I hope you get some inputs through this video, because I I find that these are some of the common areas where even intermediate, advanced learners make mistakes, not just the beginners. I think beginners, if they are rectified in the beginning aspect of the training session, they will remember it forever. But when it comes to the intermediate and the advanced learners, some of the speaking platforms also correct them, some of the training sessions, but I think we have to make them do a lot of activities so that they remember this and they are stopped in between so that they correct it on their own. So there are different ways in which we can correct people that way. It will take time because of course you forget, because you have this habitual way of using the wrong tense. For example, getting mixed up between present tense and past tense and getting confused. So if you know that you're getting confused between the tenses, why don't you take an effort to correct it? Because consciously you have to do it in the beginning, then slowly it becomes doing it cautiously, being cautious of the areas, not being very conscious. If you're going to be conscious throughout your journey, the learning journey, it's not going to help you. So just being cautious. Yes, so initially maybe you'll be very conscious, you may feel a bit uncomfortable. So I'm reading this book, The Mountain Is You. Here they say when you work towards the betterment of any skill, you will be driven out of your comfort zone slightly. There'll be a shift. I've already spoken about this at large. Okay, at length I have already spoken about this. So slightly when you're pushed away from your comfort zone, you may feel a bit jittery or you may feel a bit reluctant. But gradually, as I said, that conscious effort of not making the mistake or being more careful become cautious. So as learners, as trainers, we are also cautious about the words that we use. So I hope you get all the idea, and thanks a lot for joining me. Bye-bye.